Hello, and welcome to Japanese craft beer reviews. Today we will look at a beer from one of my favorite breweries in Japan, and that is Kyoto Brewing Company. And Kyoto Brewing Company started in 2015 in Kyoto, Japan, the former imperial capital. And the brewery was started by 3 foreign residents of the city, and actually only one of them was a resident at that time when they first began. But those people were an American who's the head brewer, a Canadian man, and a man from Wales. And they met when they were working together in the north of Japan on the Japan exchange teaching program. And the head brewer, I've known him for quite a while, and I knew him before he was a professional brewer, actually. He was an excellent home brewer, and we often used to have sampling sessions where he'd bring along some homebrew and give us, samples, and we would give him our opinions on them. He later studied in the U.S. And then interned at Lost Abbey in Southern California, and he also worked for a while at Shiga Kogen, one of the finest breweries in Japan, in Nagano Prefecture. And they started in 2015, and right away they were, the first year they were named the best new brewery in Japan by ratebeer.com, their Rate Beer Best Selection. And later, a few years later, they were rated as the best brewery in Japan. So they've done a lot, and they've made, over that period of 7 years or so, they've made around, I think, 250, 60 batches. And here is the beer from Kyoto Brewing Company. It is Kyoto Brewing 6 Journeys, number 5, and it is a Czech IPA. The 6 Journeys series is a series that Kyoto Brewing has developed to explore the idea of the IPA, which was really popularized by the American West Coast IPA in the beginning, and well, actually, of course, it goes back to UK, but the West Coast IPA just sort of made hop bombs and took over basically the craft beer world for quite a while. And I think it still is the most popular style. But what Kyoto Brewing is trying to do is to, as they say, reimagine the IPA through the characteristics of different countries' beer cultures. For example, using hops that are not typical IPA hops, as they do in this one, using Zatz hops, Czech hops, which is typically a hop that's used in a Pilsner rather than an IPA. So IPAs tend to focus on pretty heavy-duty, aromatic, and very bitter hops, things like Simcoe, Polaris, Citra, Mosaic, very typically Cascade may be used in IPAs. So in this beer, what they're doing, they're using Pilsner malt with some crystal maple malt as well, and Zatz hops and another hop from that region of the world called Sladek, and German ale yeast. Okay, so on Rate Beer, no ratings yet so far, although it has been added. On Untappd, there were 8 ratings, and so far no score out of 5 points. 6% by volume, and 48 international bitter units, IBUs. So again, this is the 5th in their series. They've done 4 other ones. For me, one of the most interesting ones was the French IPA, where they used wine yeast and hops that are not very much used in an IPA. It was a very interesting beer. This one should be, we'll see how it blends Pilsner and IPA styles. It is very slightly hazy, medium gold straw with a thin, filmy or half a finger of head. Okay. All right, I do get the Pilsner for sure. The Zatz, yeah, certainly it's there. It's quite different though from a Pilsner. Something you might get in a Pilsner or Kel, something like that. Very, very different. It's much fruitier. I'm not sure, perhaps the German ale yeast has that effect. Definitely much fruitier than the way the Satz will come out in a Pilsner. Okay. Interesting. Quite fruity initial. And it goes through a melange of kind of rough, sourish fruit, and then back to sweet. And there's some mild bitter tracks in the finish. It's interesting, unusual, and I have to say I don't think it works as well as some of the other reimaginings of IPA that they've done. It seems somehow like a rough Pilsner. I really have to say I don't think it works that well. That said, you may want to give it a go. It is, again, called Kyoto Brewing 6 Journeys. It's number 5, Czech IPA. Try it out and tell me if you think I'm wrong, okay? I'd like to hear your opinion. Subscribe to the channel and stay healthy. Okay, bye-bye.